talked about a project in New Hampshire that our utility just signed a long-term agreement with, and you were going to tell us what the agreed price was on that project, but you didn't tell us the agreed price. So what was that price for that power?
I don't know that, and my guess is Green Mountain Power will not tell you what that is.
Oh, I thought you knew.
Oh, no, I can tell you from what we know of other projects that it's at least 2 to 3 times more than the wholesale price of natural gas, which is the most expensive electricity in the New England area, or has been. So natural gas sells for about 4 to 5 cents wholesale.
This lady right here. And before you ask your question, we are a little bit after 9. If you don't mind, we'll take a few more questions because I see different hands, but only a few more.
Yeah, over on the wall, there's a list of all of the towns in Vermont, and it numbers over 200 and something. And the towns that have either wind projects presently in them or proposed to be in them are in the very lowest section of that list. The list is arranged by per capita income, and Lowell is 6 from the bottom in per capita income, and the other ones that are on that list are down in the last couple of pages as well, with a couple exceptions. So why are poor towns being targeted? I don't think it's because poor towns are the windiest towns. And is this a pattern that you see in other states?
I can tell you, if Lowell had a whole lot of second homeowners, you wouldn't even see this project get proposed. It might get proposed, but it would get fought. We saw that happen, was it in Londonderry? There were very wealthy people living in Londonderry, and they fought like heck to keep that project out. And they were successful. Communities, poorer communities, it is so typical, it's sad. This is what people have often termed it. I mean, we hear about environmental injustice. I mean, that's usually when you're sticking a power plant in the middle of a low-income inner city area, and then the minority people are living with this degradation of the air quality and other things, water quality. And that's what's happening with wind. That's what's happening. Or the town like Leominster has no zoning. You get a place with no zoning, that's heaven on earth. It has some access to transmission. You're in good shape. That's development.
Well, not for her, but in general. I mean, isn't that one we're going to have?
Yeah, any one of the 4.
Okay. Well, I guess this is a general question that I think is more or less for the group as a whole than it is for any members of the panel.
Well, we don't really want to editorialize, you know.
Okay.
You know, if you've got a question, we'll try to get one of the experts, but we don't want to get into your personal feelings.
Well, let me just tell you what my question is.
Okay.
My question is, and if it isn't okay, then I'm a big boy, I'll sit down. No. My question is to get back this theme that comes out here, and Lisa perhaps is the person who's touched on it the most, but the question is, who's looking after me? Who's looking after us? And who are, you know, how do you define us? The us that I see here that need looking after are not just the voters of the town of Lowell. It includes people who are on the other side of the mountain. It includes people like me and several others that I know here who are property owners, been here a long time, up close to the project, who can't vote because we're not included in this process, which has been, I would say, cleverly designed to put the issue of money into the whole thing, money for the town of Lowell. I think that the Lowell, I worry that the Lowell town government is not looking after my interest. I don't know that they have I doubt that they have the expertise to do that. I don't think that they are addressing the health concern that Dr. Shapiro has brought up. I don't think that they have any data at all about isolation distance from the towers. I don't know. So I doubt. My question, what is my question? My question is, who's looking after me? Where do I go? Do I go to the Public Service Board? I don't know. I want to know. And as I say, me is everybody here who isn't a town meeting voter or everybody around the area. How do I get, in other words, we, those people, can we get, if the Public Service Board issues this, can we get conditions put on the permit?
Okay, we'll try to answer your question. But to start with, I should say, I would say that you should put some faith in the town fathers here in the community. You know, whether you should go to a select board meeting, I'm sure they'd be glad to hear from you as a taxpayer. If you know, just that's the way our government works here in rural Vermont. We aren't all experts on every subject, but you know, I would go to a select board meeting if I had concerns of who's looking out for my interest if I was a taxpayer in Lowell. So that's my suggestion to you on that part. Maybe one of the panelists would have an opinion on your other question of the expertise.
It's a really important question, a good question. The first time we were found out about a project that was going to go on in Rutland County, we were like deer in the headlights. It was, nobody knew what to do, nobody knew where to turn. One experienced member of our town who had been 30 years in town activities called a couple of people together. We had a meeting. Immediately the press came in and said, opposition begins. We simply wanted to find out what the realities were. Spent the past 8 months educating ourselves, having numerous discussions, getting people who were environmental experts, getting people who were interested parties, and we sat and talked. When it came to finances, it was overwhelming. We put together money to pay for a lawyer to come to the town. We raised about $5,000 the first time around. It was a lot of money, and it was hard for people to raise that money. We hired a lawyer who helped the select board in understanding the process. The educational process is unbelievably difficult. I mean, I've spent hundreds of hours studying various questions about wind. And to be honest with all of you, I'm only going to speak to potential health issues that relate to my area of expertise. This is tough, tough stuff. And I wish there were a policy in the state, or that there was an educational, that somebody, I mean, I wonder, you know, how our legislators have been educated about energy. Who sits down with them? Who teaches them? You have to take a university course.
You aren't going to quiz me on how I got educated on wind.
I'm interested in how they taught you about this as you go to the renewable energy bill.
I can add and subtract. And, oh yeah, we don't get any turbines in Montpelier.
To be a legislator, you have to be full of wind.
The lady in the back.
Hi, I'm Patty.
Just a second, we'll get you a mic.
Hi, I'm Patty Austin Kirk. I just wanted to say I'm overjoyed that you spoke. What is your name? David. Hi, you spoke. I think desperately needs to hear from other towns